Boys, this is everything that you were not taught in school about accumulating wealth. Just to be clear, this video is for all ages, okay? I know a lot of adults that could use this video, and there's no shame in that because quite honestly, we're never taught about money. We're never taught how to accumulate, manage, and invest our wealth so that we actually become wealthy. I want to thank a few of the boys in the Discord server, Xtal, Ivan, and Chris, for asking me to make this video. This is for you guys, and this is for everyone else who could benefit from this advice, which is, like I say, literally everyone. So, first of all, boys, well done to you. You're watching a video which is designed to teach you something which will genuinely benefit your life massively. You've sought education outside of what your taught education is through the, schooling system. Great, fucking excellent. Good for you, man, because a lot of people, they don't do that. They go to school, they have their soul sucked out of them, and then they think, yeah, learning kind of sucks. Learning's actually really fucking fun. It's just that you're forced to learn shit that you don't care about. So here you are learning about something you do care about, and that is going to give you a massive ROI, return on investment, in your life, I don't know how long this video is going to be, probably 20 minutes. You're going to learn so much insanely valuable information in the next 20 minutes if you just pay attention. You might have observed that a lot of rich people, they don't really use the smarts that they got from school to make their money. Correct. So that is why you might seek out guides like this. And I'm glad to have you here because I am looking to cultivate a more mature, action-taking audience who watch the videos and then immediately apply it to their lives. And just to be clear, this isn't just a video to funnel you into my course, okay? This is a video primarily to educate you. I have not meticulously designed this video to fucking, twinge at some of your pain points so you feel the need to buy my course. I do sell a course. I teach young men how to video edit. It has nothing to do with this video. However, you want extra money, it's there, okay? Let's go. Here's my promise. By the end of this video, you will have practical guidelines for how to manage and accumulate wealth, even if you consider yourself poor. There is honestly a 0% chance that you don't become wealthier from watching and paying attention to this video and taking action on the things that you learn. 0% chance, okay? So, class is in, boys. Lesson 1, save 10% of your earnings religiously. No matter how little you make, this is step 0 to building wealth, okay? You could be the poorest of the poor. If you just set aside 10% of everything you make, you will accumulate wealth over time, which allows you the ability to make more decisions, okay? That's what you want. You want to accumulate the ability to take risks with your money, and that is what nets you the ability to produce more money, okay? And a lot of people, when they start to look at money, like, how do I make more money? How do I manage my wealth? They don't think like, okay, well, what do I have now? Let's start with what we have now. So let's say you're working an average job in the UK, okay? So you're getting paid I don't know, £9 an hour. Okay, so you set aside 10% of everything you earn in a month. And honestly, by the end of the month, you should have a little sum of money which you can actually work with from that point. And you set aside this 10% before you spend a fucking penny. You understand? A penny. 10% religiously. No, I am not touching that money no matter what, apart from if it's obviously a massive emergency, okay? Which is another benefit as to why we're doing this, is because if you do have a very unfortunate thing happen to you, you have some money to fall back on. Good, that's what we want. But we also primarily want to use this money for risk-taking, because what money gets you is time and the ability to try new things. You might think that in your current situation, you don't have much of an opportunity, for example, if you're working at Tesco's, to accumulate masses of wealth. Okay, cool. In order to take the risks to try and accumulate more wealth, you need a lump sum of money to fall back on. This is literally rule 1, 10% religiously, guys. And quite frankly, the other 90%, enjoy spending. I'm not telling you to get this weird scarcity mindset, okay? I'm not telling you to, try and collect as much money in a bank account and just let it sit there and rot there to fucking inflation, okay? Enjoy spending your other 90%. And you might think oh, but Sam, that 10%, fucking hell, my life's not even that much fun right now. That 10%, it's just gonna get worse. It's well, you'll be surprised. Your life will probably remain just as fruitful or not fruitful without that 10%. The only difference is now you're setting yourself up in the future to actually accumulate more wealth, which works for you. You won't notice a difference in your life without this extra 10%, I promise you. And we'll talk about why that is shortly. And quite honestly, you should be listening to this and just thinking actually, you know what, Sam, this is really exciting. Like, all I have to do actually is, I don't need to, like, you know, buy a fucking mentorship for $10,000 and like move to Thailand and shit like that. I actually don't. I can do what I'm doing right now, but I can just mindfully, whenever I receive my paycheck, move 10% to the side. And that will already make such a massive difference to my financial circumstances. That is fucking awesome. That's so easy for you to do. The next thing, guys, is to live within your means. Have you ever made this observation that I've made? You might have the belief of like, you know, I'm working for only £20,000 a year. Meanwhile, this guy's working for £60,000 a year. He's so lucky. You know, whatever, right? The thing is, at the end of the month, you are both, generally speaking, as broke as each other. Like, 99% of the general population who don't watch videos like this are just as broke as each other, despite how much they get paid, despite them having, you know, a better job and a higher paying job. Why is that? Well, it's because our expenses always scale with our income, unless we make the conscious effort to combat that. This is called lifestyle inflation. The guy who's making 60K a year might feel more comfortable, for example, getting a better apartment, getting a better car. We as humans are just hardwired for some reason to just like max out on everything we can, like just fucking max out on dopamine. You need to be very conscious of how you're spending your money and live below your means. Maybe getting that sweet car on rental or whatever will make you feel really good about yourself and it will be like a status symbol. But quite frankly, if you're going through all of your money in a month and you're ending every month flat broke because you're trying to, like, you know, impress someone else with your fucking car rental, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And this is what a lot of students do. They go to college and then they go to uni and they go into uni debt. And then while they're in uni, they go into debt to get a car to fucking flex on their broke uni friends. And then they're just double broke and they're fucking financially shackled to their material belongings. This is consumerism. And this happens because people are just not happy with their lives. They feel better about themselves when they're spending money. They're buying shit. This is a fucking issue. It's an actual vice that you can have that you need to become mindful of. And you need to mindfully, consciously combat it. Otherwise, you're fucked. You'll be like the 99% who end the month, even though they get paid X amount, they're as broke as everyone else at the end of the month. You'll be surprised how much actually of your expenses in the month, if you was to look at it and break it down and study it, are just actually desires rather than needs, which are moving you forward as a person. So let me say this, spend some time to study your expenses, reduce your ego, destroy your ego, okay? Just be like, do I really fucking need this car, this BMW or whatever, right? Do you need that? Or is that just fucking you up actually? Is that just financially shackling you? You like to think you own the car. No, motherfucker. The car owns you. You are fucking owned by that car, okay? Or whatever you're spending all of your money on. And guys, when you've studied your expenses, budget around them. And never, ever, ever eat into that 10% that you put aside every time you receive your payslip. And you might be listening to this thinking like, oh, fucking hell, Sam. Like, my life already sucks enough. Like, you know, going out to the club with my friends on the weekend is like the least I could do to make my life less shit. And you're telling me now I have to budget away and I can't even do that. Like, fucking hell, Sam. Life's not even worth living. Ugh. You're going all emo on me. Okay, budgeting isn't a bad thing. It's not bad. You might have the belief that budgeting is bad and it's like scarcity and like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, budgeting is just you giving yourself the liberty and the specific guidelines to your own financial freedom in the future. And it might mean that you have to make some short-term sacrifices because, yes, anything you want in life requires sacrifice. If you want the six-pack, you have to sacrifice hours upon hours in the gym, and you have to sacrifice the donuts. Same with money. If you want to make money, you do have to make sacrifices. If you want to be a wealthy person, you have to make sacrifices. But it gets easier as time goes on. Having a budget literally just puts a wrap over all of the leakages that you might have in your finances, okay? If you don't have a specific budget, you might be more inclined to like, yeah, I'll just get that, and yeah, it won't hurt, and that shit eats away at your money. And once again, you're going to be flat broke by the end of the month. Budgeting gives you liberty. It gives you freedom. I want you to undo the psyop that budgeting is bad. It is not. It is good. It is organization. It is discipline. It is good. Guys, lesson 3 is to invest in growing your wealth. I want you guys to write down this journaling prompt and take some time after this video to journal about this. How could I use my money right now to push me further towards my goals? Just to give you a few ideas, investing in your skill set. E-learning products, courses, mentorship, so on and so forth. Super OP. Really, really OP, and I'll tell you why, okay? And I'll explain it through an analogy. When I was a kid, and I come from a video gaming background, okay? I used to absolutely love video games. I'd buy them in these discs for my PlayStation and my Xbox, and every weekend on Sunday, I would see my dad, and my dad would drive me to the local GameStop. And in there, you can actually trade in your old games for newer games, but obviously they pay you less every time. But this was my absolute favorite era of gaming because every time I wanted to get a new exciting game, I had to like sacrifice some old games which I'd already played and like, you know, whatever. I had to sacrifice some of those to get the new game. But as time went on, I actually started to play games on my PC, and with that opened up the possibilities of like piracy, which is illegal, but you can just download games for free. You don't have to pay. I actually think that is the downfall as to why I started to just hate video games and just not value them anymore, because they were so readily available to me and they just meant nothing to me anymore. The reason why investing in your skill set monetarily is so important and valuable is because weirdly as humans, we don't value our time anywhere near enough. You know, if we saw like a clock which said like you're going to die in X amount of hours, you would suddenly really start to take your time a lot more seriously. You would value it so much more. But we don't have that. We have this weird sense of like time is just continuing. It's all good. So yeah, I could spend like a few months trying to learn how to drop ship, and I could save myself $500 from buying a course which will just teach me everything I need to know all there together, along with a fucking community of guys who are doing the exact same thing. No, it's fine, I won't do that. I'll save my $500 because that's way more valuable to me than my time for some reason as humans. And I'll just fucking waste 2 months. And frankly, the stuff that I look at to try and learn dropshipping, I will just value far less. The free stuff, you can get everything for free on YouTube, bro. Like, yeah, but you don't value it as much as you should. If you paid $100 to watch this video, you would probably be sat there right now with a fucking notepad out, like with your fucking dick in your hand, just like trying to squeeze as much value. The fact is, you're probably getting some value out of this. Cool, good, I'm glad. But if you paid for this video, you would be getting so much more value out of it. It is the exact same with e-learning. If you want to accelerate your growth towards your goals in terms of business or development of self, if you invest in it, you will value it so much more. I did the same with books. I used to pirate books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I'd read a few pages, get bored and stop. How crazy is that? Because now I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People like 7 times after I've bought the hard copy. It's right here next to me. I've read it 7 times and I've got so much value from it. And that's because I just paid like fucking $17 for the physical copy, you know? So people who say like, you know, oh, courses are scams, it's bullshit, they really miss this aspect of like why it's so valuable. It saves you just so much time. And also it literally just makes you so much more invested in your own success because you've actually sacrificed for it. Like if I could just snap my fingers right now and gain a 6-pack, I wouldn't value it anywhere near as much as if I had worked like, you know, a year straight to get it. Same shit here. So mentorship and like investing in your own learning, books, courses, super OP, providing that you're investing in the right mentorship and courses. I know there's a lot of bullshit out there, guys. I know. There's a lot of guys who sell shit and they're really hands off and they don't even take any sort of interest in the people who buy in. They don't give a fuck about their results. They're just like, you know, they hire some fucking dude to manage it for them. Yeah, that's all garbage. You don't want that, true. I agree. So make sure you choose right what you want to invest in. Make sure you get a good return on your investment. Make sure you have a guy who really gives a shit about your results. Also things like freeing up your time, because innately you have things which you excel at. Mine is video editing. I'm fucking excellent at video editing, okay? And also content creation. I like being in front of a camera. So the more time I can spend in front of a camera or video editing, the better. However, for me to function as a business, I might need to sometimes, I don't know, do some emails or something. I might be best suited to spend my money to invest in someone who will write my emails for me, who is passionate as fuck about it. They're just autistically, much like how I'm good at editing, they're really good at emails. And I get to free up more of my time, so I get to do what I excel at. And then together, we excel massively. You might want to invest in that as well. That's totally legitimate as well. You spend more time doing what you do best, and you leverage someone using your money who does what they do best. Best case scenario. And this is how future millionaires actually spend their money, guys. They don't spend it on a random stock or a random crypto and just hope for a 10x. That's bullshit. And we're going to talk about why in a little bit, don't worry. But once you learn how to make money, no one can take that away from you. You can't unlearn how to make money. It is insanely important for you to understand how important it is to invest in your own growth, in learning how money works, how to make money. Speaking of crypto, it is the Wild West out there, chaps, okay? Lesson 4, guard your wealth from loss. Guys, crypto to me is like, I'm going to preface this by saying, like, I don't know that much about crypto, okay? I'm not like a nerd on crypto or anything, okay? But to me, crypto is like just the biggest, most elaborate pyramid scheme I've ever seen. Like, you buy into a coin and then you have to convince everyone else that your coin is valuable and important because of X and Y, and that they should buy into it as well, so you can sell for more and they just lose their investment. It's like a pyramid scheme. And this is why you get these nerds on the internet who spend all of their time trying to convince you how important crypto is. You must buy crypto. Because if you don't buy into crypto, they lose their money. That's how it works. It's a pyramid scheme. You enter the pyramid. If you don't get 2 people in with you, you lose. You lose your money. I will say this. I don't know much about crypto, but Bitcoin seems to have a genuinely good use case because the United States dollar is no longer attached to any tangible real world thing. It used to be attached to real life gold in a reserve. It is no longer. Okay, so they're just printing money and inflating the fuck out of their currency. And at some point, yes, that shit is going to blow up massively, okay? If there's any sort of legitimate crypto you should invest in my opinion, Bitcoin. Sure, I see a legit use case for that because it's finite. Once all the Bitcoin is mined, you cannot mine any more. And it is attached to that. You cannot just create more Bitcoin, much like how the United States government is doing when they're printing all this cash, okay? So that's good, that's good. But we'll see. It's not a safe investment still because you never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if crypto and Bitcoin is actually going to be like usable or not, if people are actually going to attach value to it. They are currently, but shit can change. I don't know enough about it. I'm pretty like most of the other cryptos are just like gambling. It's straight up gambling. It's like it's just a popularity contest. You've got these meme coins where it's like, yeah, the meme's funny, invest guys, and then you just like hope for the bet. It's just fucking retarded. So guard your wealth from loss. Avoid volatile investments, guys. You hear these guys like, yeah, bro, trust me, this coin's gonna 10x, bro. Like, yeah, avoid. Red flag, massive red flag. And like, yeah, guys, people do make a lot of money with these investments, but they don't learn anything in the process. And it's just as likely that they've lost a fuck ton of money from these retarded investments that they don't talk about because it's not marketable for them to say, oh yeah, guys, I was a retard and I invested in this fucking coin of a dancing monkey on base chain and I just lost fucking $2,000, okay? They don't tell you that. They only tell you the wins, okay? There is more losers in crypto than there are winners. Far more, okay? Promise you. So be very careful of that. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes, okay? I don't need to explain that to you, okay? Like, yeah, if you join this, then you'll be a fucking millionaire in like 6 months, bro. Trust me. Yeah, whatever, bro. Understand that accumulating wealth at that level will take time. It will take perseverance. It will take you to like master some sort of skill, some marketable skill. You'll have to master it. Good. That's what we want. We want that journey. We don't want like tomorrow to receive $1 million. We don't. You might think you want that, but you actually really don't want that. The amount of guys I've met who like just caught a random pump on crypto and now they're just lost souls, like just have no idea what to do with themselves. They just get drunk and do drugs all day. Like, you don't want that. You don't want that. So slow and steady wins, guys. Like, go for your nice 10% return per year investments, okay? That's what you want. That's ideal because you're beating inflation, hopefully. And, you know, it's much safer, okay? Be very careful where you get investment advice. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, yeah, invest in this and this and this, but I don't know enough to give you that advice, and I'm not fucking... Why would you listen to me for that? I don't know enough. So don't listen to some random retard on Twitter telling you like Doge going to the moon, because once again, like, they are incentivized to tell you that because they win if you lose, okay? Don't invest in shit you don't understand. Guys, if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with crypto, good. Don't worry about it. Don't invest in it. And credit cards, guys, just be careful with credit cards. It can be very, very, very useful to build up your credit score. Just never spend money on your credit card which you literally don't have. I have a credit card and there's not been a single month where I've not just paid it off immediately. I just pay it off immediately. I don't let it sit there at all. So I just have it to build up credit score, and that's really it. So careful out there, boys. It's the Wild West. Now, guys, if you want to continue to accumulate wealth, you need to have positive beliefs and you have to continually reinforce them, which is why, like, watching videos like this is actually really important. Maybe you've heard some of this stuff before, but it's not really sank in for you. Maybe you're not quite ready for that message. This is why you have to continue to reinforce this stuff. So here's some positive beliefs for you. I want you to literally drill these into your skull. Of course you can become wealthy. Like, of course. You've not been cursed by some weird cryptic witch before you came into the world with you're just unlucky and you just can't... Of course you can. Anyone can, okay? It's just that not many people are conscious enough to watch videos like this and to actually take action on it and to do the hard work that it takes to actually accumulate wealth and the sacrifice. Of course you can become wealthy. All it takes is that hard work and that sacrifice and just a little bit of know-how. It's not that complicated, this stuff, guys, but they're not conscious enough to realize it. They're too busy scrolling on TikTok. So also, guys, earning money isn't a bad thing and it doesn't make you a bad person. There's this really weird limiting belief with like very broke people that like anyone who tries to make money or has money are just evil. And you know what? I kind of like understand, okay? I understand because there's plenty of dickheads who have money, but there's also plenty of really, really nice guys with really good hearts who don't fuck people over, who have money, you know? Sure, the guys who are assholes are usually the loudest and they usually, you know, garner the most attention from you because innately that's what we react to. We react to negative energy, which is why whenever you turn the news on, it's like, yeah, someone just got fucking murked on the... Bro, someone just got murked like 2 steps away from your house, bro, and you're like, oh shit. But if the news came on and it was like, yeah, so today someone donated $100,000 to a cancer research foundation, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's nice. I don't really give a shit though. But the fucking negative one's like, whoa. The negative guys are like very loud, but there's plenty of really good people with money. And there's no reason why you can't be a good person with a good heart who doesn't fuck people over, follows God with money. Okay? Awesome. Best case scenario, because all money does is just accelerate who you are. It highlights who you are. So if you're a good person with a good heart, then you're a good person with a good heart who has options to share that good nature with the world, with their wealth. And that's a beautiful thing. So another thing, guys, your industry is not oversaturated. That's bullshit. It's oversaturated with very lazy people trying to take out as much as they can and give as little as possible. You can go into any industry, really, and make a fucking impact if you work hard enough. With impact, you will get money. So it's not that hard once you know how to make money. Like, once you know how to make money, it's like, well, yeah, I can make money wherever I go now. Now I've made some pretty good money. I now have the firm belief in my brain that, like, you know what? Whatever fucking happens, like, I know I will make money if I need to. I know how to make money. And once you have that, again, you can't unlearn that, and that's super powerful, man. And finally, guys, like, you might think like, oh, yeah, I'm just a bit unlucky, bro. Like, no. Good luck comes to people who take action. Those opportunities come to people who take action relentlessly. Let's say you've just been, like, sat in your chair, like, whimpering and whining, playing your video games for the last, like, 3 years, but then just randomly some freak shit happens, and you could have had the opportunity to be, like, I don't know, let's not, a bodybuilding competition with Chris Bumstead, but you're a fat gamer who hasn't done anything for 3 years. Like, of course that's not gonna work. But that fucking random freak opportunity comes to the guy who's been working hard in the gym for 3 years. You would say, oh yeah, here's just lucky. Like, okay, yeah, sure, bit of luck, but these opportunities come to us, like, really often. It's just that most of the time, we're just not ready to harness them. Repeat after me. I am a money mancer, and my only spell is summon dollar. Now guys, I want to very quickly talk about borrowing money and debt. Okay, this is very simple stuff. Be more cautious than just relaxed when you're borrowing money to people. Are they someone of high principle? Are they irresponsible with their money? Do they have a plan with this money which is going to produce more money? And honestly, most of the time, it's better to be safe than sorry. You're not going to win friends this way, but like honestly, I've borrowed money to people and then they've like really let me down with it, and I've had to like, you know, loan shark them for months trying to get it back, and it just really completely destroys my relationship with them. So I'd rather be a little bit more cold in terms of like, no, I'm sorry, I don't like borrowing money to people, than having it completely destroy my relationship. Here's my policy with borrowing money to people. If I do determine like, yeah, you know what, this is a good guy, he's got good principles, I think I know he'll pay me back. If I give someone money, I literally just forget about it. Like, I don't want it sat on my subconscious mind at all. I don't want to be thinking, oh yeah, like Luke owes me money and whatever, right? I'll literally just forget about it. And in a week's time, if I get a surprise, you know, visit from Luke, oh, hey Sam, here's that money you borrowed me, I'll be like, oh yeah, thanks man. And if I never get that visit and he either just forgets about it or just like pretends he forgets about it and just doesn't pay me, I'm not going to bring it up with them, but I'm just going to lose so much subconscious respect for them. That's how I do, you know, borrowing money. And obviously at that point, I'll never lend them money ever again. Because it's just fucking bitchy. It's just very feminine. Like, oh, hey bro, man, can you borrow me some money? Like, obviously sometimes things happen, but fucking hell. You don't want to be in that position. You don't like asking your friend for money, do you? So as for debt, guys, if you're in debt to someone, if you owe someone money, like, guys, repay it diligently. The self-esteem hit that you take from not repaying it as soon as you fucking can just isn't worth any amount of money. Like, your self-esteem will be fucking destroyed. You're gonna lose all respect for yourself, and you're gonna lose all of the respect from the people around you for just not being on the ball with paying back your own debt. Like, you have to be active on this shit. Oh, hey man, I haven't forgot about that money, man. It's just that I'm gonna have some cash come in next week and I'll give it you as soon as that. Shit like that. It's like, okay, cool, he's on the ball. I'm not having to think about it as the guy who's gave you the money. Good. And if your debt's too large to repay at once, then much like how we do with our 10%, we put 20% aside, not touching our 10% still. We never, ever, ever touch that 10%, but we put 20% aside, and we put that towards paying off all of our debts, and we pay it off as soon as possible. Boys, that is my 6 lessons in accumulating wealth. 1, save 10% of your earnings religiously. 2, live within your means. 3, invest in growing your wealth. 4, guard your wealth from loss. 5, reinforcing positive habits and beliefs, and 6, borrowing money and debt. You now have a 0% chance of not becoming wealthy. Good job, my friend. If you literally just live by this, think about it. You're getting 10% of your earnings constantly from every bit of money that you make, and hopefully you're investing it wisely. There's a 0% chance you don't become wealthy. It is as easy as that, guys. It's just that people are not conscious enough to think of this shit, okay? That is all you need to know about money. I could sit here and give you very autistic specific advice on like, yo, fucking invest in this hedge fund. You don't need that. You can make those decisions yourself. You can go to better investment gurus than me, okay? This is how to accumulate wealth at a foundational level. These are your foundations. 99% of people don't follow these simple rules, and they remain broke as fuck at the end of the month, every time. This was my promise to you. By the end of this video, you will have a practical guideline for how to manage and accumulate wealth. Even if you're poor as fuck and you consider yourself poor, I don't consider you poor, but you might consider yourself poor. That is my promise. I hope that I have lived up to it. Share this video with a friend who you want to get filthy rich with, or with someone who could really use this foundational knowledge. And boys, if you want to learn how to make money online from the comfort of your bedroom or traveling the world with your laptop, I did it myself through video editing, and now I teach it to over 500 of my students. It's a very legit way of making money, and it also gains you access to networks of really influential people, which is just insanely valuable. It's a great skill to have. So if you want to learn my way, as you can see on the screen, we're getting excellent results inside of my academy. You could be next. Take care, boys.